Okay, number 1, we're adding negative 1/8 plus negative 3/4. Okay, first thing you want to do is to come up with the least common denominator. Okay, so did you get 8? Okay, if you multiplied the 8 and the 4 together to give you 32, that would be a common denominator, but it wouldn't be the smallest, and it would make this problem a little bit harder to do. So again, you don't have a text box for this, but this is just something I'm adding in. Okay, for 8, if you start counting by 8s, 8, 16, 24, and you start counting by 4s, 4, 8, 12, the first common number you get to is the 8. So 8's the common denominator, the least common denominator. Okay, so put that in. Okay, now try to take the original fractions and get the common denominator of 8 using multiplication. Take a minute and do that and then check. Okay, notice that first fraction already had an 8 in the denominator, so you didn't have to do anything to that first fraction. So the negative 1/8 is good. Okay, but the negative 3/4, you don't have an 8 in the denominator, so you got to take the 4 times what number? 2. You got to take the top times 2. Okay, so you would have negative 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so we wrote both fractions with the common denominator. Okay, now do the next step. Write the addition problem over the 8. Let me give you a clue here, or a hint. Look at that negative. Just think of that as in front of the 1. Okay, then you have a plus. And then think of that negative as in front of the 6. What I tell students is to just look at the 8's separate, and then everything else in your problem, you just kind of write down left to right. Okay, you should have typed in negative 1 plus negative 6 all over the 8. Okay, negative 1 plus, you don't have to really put parentheses if you don't want to, it just makes it look better. Negative 1 plus negative 6 over 8. Okay, go ahead and finish. Add the tops and then simplify. Remember, we told you there were 2 different ways you could write the answer. Okay, you should have gotten negative 1 plus negative 6 is negative 7, and keep the 8. Negative 7 over 8. That is reduced. Okay, we're lucky. It is reduced. But just know that that negative 7 over 8 could also be written as a negative 7 over 8. Okay, keep me posted with any questions.